This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is August 20th, 2022. We're performing a video sewer inspection starting with the guest house at the rear of the property, or pool house. And we have a 3-inch cast iron clean out that is right back behind the bathroom area. There's the clean out, and we have the door open, and this is the bathroom area to the guest house. So we will be performing our sewer inspection starting here, then we'll transition and we'll run through the main house and double check the line from the main house. And we are at 725 North Doheny Drive, Beverly Hills, California. And we're going to set our camera right at the opening of the cast iron clean out and zero out our camera monitor so we get a good accurate reading. Let's push our camera in, and we are in cast iron piping, which I kind of figured, and we transition right away within the first 5 feet. We transition to ABS plastic pipe and fittings. I believe we're going to run out. We're going to run out, I believe, on the right-hand side of the property. Got some turns, and the joints all appear to be in fair condition. Some more turns. We're going to have to go around the pool. Then we're going out toward the front of the property. And we may be able to push all the way out to the city from here, and then we'll just inspect the main house to the tie-in connection. And that joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Kind of tough trying to push from here because there is so many turns. We're still in ABS plastic. We have a little bit of debris in the line. We're going to run water, and we're going to attempt to push all the way out, and then we will shut the water off and view the line from wherever we can reach all the way back. There are several cleanouts on the side of the property that we may need to run through another one on the side of the house. It would be on the left-hand side of the house as you're facing the house from the street. But we're going to run quite a bit of water, so we won't be able to see a lot, but hopefully it'll help us push all the way out. Okay, we flushed the toilet a couple of times, got the shower running, and we have the lavatory sink running as well. We're going to continue in an attempt to push all the way out. Makes it a little bit easier with all the water running. As I said, we have quite a few turns. We're not going to be able to see much, so we're just going to push out briskly and see where we can get to. As I said, because of the amount of turns, we may end up having to run through another clean out. We're going to locate this area. We're going to pause for a moment. May have another, we may have another clean out is what it looks like. So we're going to see if we can locate this area. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we located this area and marked this area. We are 1 foot 4 inches deep at the left rear corner of the house as you're facing the house from the front, facing the house from the street. So we're going to continue trying to push out. Appears that we are still in ABS plastic piping. As I said, kind of hard to see a little bit. We'll be able to see a little bit better on the way back. We need the water to help us push out. So I've got the shower running and the lavatory sink in the guest house in the back. Making it a little bit tougher to try and push out. Making a turn now. We're dropping in. Heading out toward the street. Making another turn. Pushing out. Now we're transitioning back to cast iron pipe and fittings. So we're going to pause for a moment and we're going to locate this area. Okay, we located this area and it is on the front left-hand corner of the house. There is an ABS plastic clean out. We're just past that. This transition to a cast iron fitting. We don't know. This might be from the main house transitioning to the sewer line from the back and going out to the street. And the entire line from the house may be cast iron. We'll try and find out. But we're going to try and continue to push out. We still have about 60 feet to get to the street. Kind of tough trying to get through these turns because I've gone through so many, and now we're transitioning through a cast iron turn that sometimes they just don't want to make the turns because they're not real smooth. They're actually pretty rough, but we're going to try. If not, we're going to transition. We're going to move to that clean out at the far left hand corner of the house and then try and get out from there, which would be a lot easier. May not be able to get through here at all. Let me try again. Does not want to make that turn, but try one more time. We have to be careful. Many turns as we're going through, we don't want to break the camera lens. But again, as I said, we'll try and push through here one more time. Try to get a little run at it. No, it's not going to go through the turn. So we're going to pull back from here and we'll shut the water off. We'll view the line from here, coming back, and then we'll transition to the other clean out by the front left corner of the house, the main house. So we'll let that water subside, and then we'll run through the other ABS plastic clean out that is right before this cast iron fitting. We should be able to get out to the street from there, and then we'll run through the house line. May end up having to run through the kitchen sink clean out to get out to here, to get to the transition. Just going to wait for a few minutes and let this subside. Okay, the water has subsided and we're going to continue to pull back. Now we're going to start pulling back from the cast iron fitting. Like I said, the other line coming from the house may be cast iron, and this may be the reason why we've got the cast iron fitting in here. Because it looks like on the other side of this fitting, we actually have ABS plastic again. So we're going to continue to pull back now. Joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition, and that is our ABS plastic mainline sewer cleanout that is at the left front corner of the house. And we actually transitioned from 3-inch pipe to 4-inch pipe. You can see we're actually going into a larger pipe right here. Kind of hard to push out, but we dropped down into a larger pipe right there. So we're going to continue pulling back now, and we'll pull back toward the guest house or a pool house. Joints so far appear to be in pretty fair and mild condition, maintainable condition. A little debris in there, but that'll wash through. Joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We have pretty good grade going out. We have natural grade on the property, so we have pretty good grade going out toward the front of the house. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. And when I say fair and maintainable condition, that's about as good as it's going to get without it being new. All the piping appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. And long length of ABS plastic piping. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We're coming back toward our guest house. We're about 16 feet out now. We've made quite a few turns. We're back on our final run. Coming back toward our clean out. Joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. Somehow we lost the counter. We're still out a ways. We had zeroed it out and we got a good reading going out, but I don't know coming back. We're now at minus 26 feet. There's some debris just from me running the camera, because we do have some cast iron pipe in the beginning. So we're breaking up some of the rust in the cast iron piping and pushing it out, and that will wash through. That'll wash through the sewer line as people are flushing the toilet and running the shower water and all. There isn't that much debris to cause an issue. Making some more turns. And that's where we transition right here from the ABS plastic coming back toward our clean out, our cast iron clean out. And that's older cast iron. And now we're out of the clean out. And now we're going to go ahead and relocate our camera to that left front corner of the house, the other clean out that we located, and try and run all the way out to the street and inspect the rest of the We want to inspect the rest of the property sewer line, but also inspect the lateral sewer line as well. So we're going to pause for a moment, relocate our equipment. Okay, we've now relocated our camera to the 4-inch ABS plastic clean out. This is right before the walk-in gate on the left-hand side of the house, and now this is facing out toward the street and the front of the house. And we have a cast iron clean out directly in front of us, or cast iron fitting that probably ties in the house along with the sewer from the back guest house or pool house. I'm going to zero out our camera monitor now. Okay, we're zeroed out, and we're going to begin pushing into our ABS plastic clean out, and here's our cast iron fitting. Should be able to push through here pretty easy. And we got right through it. And we're pushing out toward the property line by the sidewalk area. Those fittings appear to be in fair and maintainable condition. And then we'll be pushing out into the street to the city sewer. And those joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition. Holding a little bit of water here, probably a little offset fitting maybe. Let's see if we can jump over it. I don't know if we can. I believe we have a pretty large offset right there. Yeah, we do. We have a major offset in this fitting. And we're transitioning back to cast iron right here. I'm going to try and jump over it, but I don't know that we can. We can't keep pounding against that cast iron fitting, or we could break our camera lens. But we're going to try and jump over it one more time. It looks like it's too large to try and even jump over, even though I'm this close. I'm only 20 feet away. That's a major offset. That's got to be repaired before we can even go out to the street. We're going to set our camera right up against that large offset. That was a connection that was made from ABS plastic to cast iron. More than likely they used an inexpensive coupling, and they shift real easily. If you don't use the good ARC couplings, they won't hold up great. They'll shift, and then this is the problem that you get. This will cause stoppages, and we cannot inspect the rest of the line until this is excavated and repaired. So we're going to pause right now, and we're going to locate this area. Okay, we've located this area, and now we're going to pull back, and we're going to relocate our equipment one more time. There's another clean out right in front of us. See, we're holding water, and there's a major offset right there at the ABS plastic to cast iron transition. There's our clean out. There's our ABS clean out that we located in the planter area. So we're going to transition to that point. We're going to see if we can get all the way through to the city sewer. If not, we're going to try and put a plastic ball on the end of our camera and see if we can jump over it, but this may be better going right from the other clean out. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we relocated our camera equipment. We're now outside the fence. We're in the planter area that is adjacent to the sidewalk. There's our 4-inch ABS plastic clean out. There's our flag right in front of it. That's where we have the major offset transitioning from ABS plastic to cast iron. So we're going to zero out our camera monitor one more time. Okay, we got a good accurate reading to zero. We're going to go down. We're about 2 foot 10 inches deep. And now we're holding the water. We're transitioning to the cast iron. We're going to try and see if we can jump over this. Okay, we got such an offset, we can't even do it from here. We're going to pause for a moment and try and put the plastic ball on it and see if we can get over it. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've got our plastic ball on the front of our camera head. Now we're going to try and see if we can jump over that offset. Kind of hard sometimes with the cast iron. Does not want to seem to go, so we are going to try something else. We're going to pause for a moment again. Okay, we're back on again. We put a little different contraption on here. It's a little bit smaller than the plastic round ball. Maybe this will get over the offset. And looks like we got through, and now we're pushing out toward the street. I believe we had a large amount of roots. Couldn't really see because had to have our head down trying to push this thing in. So we'll check it on the way back. Now it appears that we're out in what appears to be maybe concrete sewer piping, lateral sewer piping, which is in the street. Looks like there's quite a bit of roots in here. We have roots right here. Trying to head out toward the city sewer. It's hard to tell what we have exactly. Now here it looks like possibly vitreous clay, and it may be vitreous clay in the back. behind us. Just really hard to see with the root intrusion. And we're going to run out and we're going to run to the city sewer tie-in connection. We'll take a look and then we'll pull back. We'll pull back and we'll take a look once we get out all the way into the city sewer. Now we're making a turn, and that's our saddle right there. I believe we're in the city sewer now. We're going to pull back very slowly. So we're going to pull back very slowly now so we can see the line. That's the city sewer right there, dropping in. And this is the homeowner's city sewer saddle connection, which is very important that that's in good condition. Got a little bit of hairline roots in there and it's offset just a tiny bit, but doesn't look terrible. That can be maintained with a chemical called Root X, ROOTX. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Coming back, we have a line just inside the face of the pipe on the top. Could be a crack, could be just a mark. We're going to blow that up on our laptop back at the office and we'll take a good look at that. We are in vitreous clay. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Little tiny bit of root intrusion. Again, nothing terrible. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition, as does that joint. Got something at the top. Could be on the offset, part of the offset in the pipe, or it could be a crack at the top. We'll take a good look at that as well. We'll blow that up at 40 feet. We're pulling back. Looks like it has a little bit of an offset. We're going to pull back. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint has a pretty good offset, almost the whole face of the pipe at the top. But there's no major breaks or no major root intrusions right there. A little bit of an offset right there, not terrible. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Now we're in the street. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to have a pretty substantial offset. What you see, we're dropping down into it. As we go off the edge of it, we drop down into it. And I can see the whole entire face of the pipe at the top. So we're going to continue to pull back. We have some substantial root intrusion right here. We're pulling back, have some rutting in the pipe a little bit, maybe just buildup possibly. It's hard to tell. It's quite a bit of root intrusion right there. This line would probably have to be hydrojetted to really see the joints real well. And there is a section, looks like concrete piping here, and we have some rutting at the bottom. And we have quite a bit of root intrusion right here. And we're holding back some water. That could be concrete slag. It's really hard to see, especially with the root intrusion. Looks like we might have an offset too right there at the top. We're going to locate this area. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we put a dot of pink paint on the sidewalk. That's right next to that major offset. And it is at 6 feet deep. We also put an orange flag in the grass right next to it, marked offset 6 feet deep. So we're going to continue to pull back now. Quite a bit of roots in here, as I said. This needs to be hydrojetted at least. Try and see what's going on, and there's a good chance probably need to put a liner in it. Sewer liner. Major root intrusion here. Can't really see exactly what the joint looks like. Then we transition from cast iron right here. So we have cast iron piping here. Now we're pulling back. This cast iron piping should be replaced. From the clean out area back to at least the parkway area. Replace it with 6-inch piping because we're only 4-inch piping, and it is cast iron, pretty corroded, and we have some turns in it. It's going to make it more difficult and more susceptible to stoppages. I'm going to try and pull back up through that area. Yeah, the turn has a lot of corrosion right here. Major corrosion, major offset. Very difficult to get over right there. We had to jump that. You can see it's holding back water right here. So now we're pulling back, and we're pulling up and out of our mainline sewer cleaning out in the planter area adjacent to the sidewalk. I'm going to pause for a moment. Okay, we pulled our camera back. We have some major corrosion in the cast iron piping coming back, and we're going to go ahead and transition now to the kitchen side of the house and try and run through there. Couldn't locate a mainline sewer clean out to the main house, so we're going to run through the kitchen if we can. We're going to pause for a moment, relocate our camera equipment. Okay, we're going to attempt to run back through our 4-inch ABS clean out. We're going to zero out right here. Just need to double check our transition from the cast iron going to the concrete piping. So we have cast iron right here. We have a major offset right there in the cast iron. And now we are in what looks to be concrete piping. And that's our cast iron. That's our cast iron transition. We got a lot of roots in there. And that is concrete piping. So we're going to relocate this and just double check it. Okay, we located this area and marked this area with a pinked out of paint right by the brick wall, the little retaining wall to the planter. That is at 5 foot 10 inches deep. Now we're going to run out a little bit. Try and get out further. We have large root intrusion here. We're holding water right there. We're actually pushing some water through. We're going to push out a little bit. Now we start pulling back. That's a pretty large root intrusion. Appears to be concrete sewer piping. We have some debris on the camera lens. There we go. Push out a little bit further. There's quite a bit of debris in the lateral. This is the city lateral, but the homeowner does own it to the city sewer tie-in connection. Kind of bouncing back because of the plastic piece we had to put on it to jump over the offset. And we have a major offset right there. And that is right by the sidewalk area. Mark that area out with a pink dot of paint. We are 6 feet deep at the parkway. Now we're pulling back, coming back up through our cast iron section and then our ABS plastic clean out. And that will conclude our video sewer inspection from this side of the house and the guest house. Now we're going to try and run through the main house. So we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we are now on the right hand side of the house as you're facing the house from the street. And this is the kitchen window. You can see the kitchen faucet in the window area. And this is going out toward the street. And that's going back out toward the pool area. And we're going to set our camera right at the ABS clean out that is below the kitchen window. And we're going to attempt to try and push out to the transition in the front and take a look at the waste line and sewer line from this part of the house. So we're going to set our camera right at the opening of the ABS plastic and zero out our camera monitor again. Okay, we're going to begin pushing in. Transitions right away to cast iron. And the cast iron is just really built up. Really, really bad. There's just a ton of buildup, and it's actually cutting my cable and tearing my camera cable up, so I can't push in anymore. And it's packed with grease. We're going to try and rinse off our camera head and pause for a moment. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we got the plug out, got the cap off, the cover, and the clean out plug out of here. We're in the downstairs bathroom, and there's a 3/4 shower. The 3/4 bath, we're going to begin running through the cast iron clean out in the wall on the side of the toilet. So we're going to zero out our camera monitor again. Okay, we're going to begin running through. And we are in cast iron pipe and fittings. Quite a bit of corrosion, probably original. I'm going to flush the toilet a little bit. Try and rinse our camera lens off. See if we can get a good full view of everything. So we're in cast iron pipe and fittings. We're going to try and attempt to run out to the front of the house to the tie-in. I believe the house ties into the sewer from the back guest house. So this is all cast iron, making a turn. Got a little debris in there. We're holding back a little bit of water. Got a lot of rutting, a whole lot of corrosion in the cast iron. Has some debris. As I said, more than likely, I mean, you see how much buildup and debris we have in there. Try and push through. Flush the toilet again. See if we get a little bit of water to help us get over some of the corrosion and build up kind of hard when we're this far back. Okay, I'm just going to try and push out as far as we can. See if we can get to the transition at the ABS, and then the ABS plastic, we'll go mark that out in front and see where we're at. And then we'll pull back after and take a good look at the line. But there is a large amount of corrosion and debris in the line, as I had said. Another turn. Very difficult to get through. We'll try and run some more water in the shower. We're also going to flush the toilet again. See if we can make this turn. Should have a good amount of water coming through here in a moment. Try and keep pushing through. There we go. Pushing out, and now we're at the transition to ABS plastic. So we're going to go out front, we're going to locate this area and mark this area. So pause for a moment, go locate this area. Okay, we located the area, and we did have orange flags by the clean out on the left front corner of the house. And that is where the transition tie-in is. Going from the cast iron from the house, this old original cast iron under the house, and transitions to new ABS plastic at that point at the left front corner of the house. This is our cast iron coming back. And it appears to be older cast iron. A lot of corrosion, a lot of rutting, scale. This line should be replaced. So we continue to pull back. Coming back to the house, you can see how much scale and buildup. I mean, just making that turn, there's big chunks. We do have some root intrusion. You can see the root right there. The root was moving around. That root right there is telling me that the cast iron is failing, and roots are actually growing through pinholes in the pipe. And at the bottom, you can see the roots at the bottom of the pipe. So it's probably got some pretty decent holes coming through the bottom of the cast iron now, which is, it's common when you get cast iron this age. And now we're into a lot of rutting and corrosion again. So the cast iron we would recommend replacing rather than trying to hydrojet or do anything, because you got roots coming through that tells me it's failing. If we hydrojet, we may just make it look like Swiss cheese. Usually when it gets to that point, hydrojet, you blow a lot of holes through it. A lot of guys will try and overdo it a little bit and try and blow more holes through it so they can secure a sale, but right from the top, it needs to be replaced in the condition that it's in. And that will conclude our video waistline inspection. Do the clean out on the side of the downstairs toilet. That concludes our video waste line and sewer line inspections. Thank you.